And welcome into a weird edition, once again, socially distanced episode of the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM. Hello, everybody. Jared Dillard, and joining me from wherever they may be, Davis looks like he's on his couch, and Alex looks like he is in his basement somewhere, just, I guess, being depressed. So,
Not my basement, it's my room.
whatever it may be,
That is what it is. It's
yeah,
not a prison either.
whatever it may be, you're looking pretty sad there.
I,
Davis, how you doing today?
I'm a little tired, but I'll make it.
Alex,
what?
how are you?
Yeah, Jared, I want you to ask me the whole question. You can't just say my name and expect me to respond. Jeez.
Alex,
Well,
how are you doing today?
it's going pretty good. There's only 4 more days until I've got to watch the Washington football team lose by 50 to the Eagles, so I'm looking forward to that.
Be a
And
little be a little bit more, I don't know, optimistic that they'll lose by like 40, maybe.
I mean, I was optimistic last year when they went up by 21, then they still lost by 20. So,
Jared,
Fair enough. Yes.
Alex texted me earlier. He said he's really happy today because the warden said they're eating gruel for lunch.
that's not. I don't. That's a terrible joke.
It's funny because, well, I won't get into that. I don't think I'm allowed to get into that. But
Okay.
welcome to the Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 FM. To catch the show after the fact, make sure that you go to YouTube for all the recording, or check out the podcast on iTunes, not iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcast fix. We got you. So let's kind of just go ahead and get into the show. Uh, it's been a while. It's been, what, 8 days now. So,
Yeah.
Davis, I'll give you the floor because it's your time to shine. The Bucks are gone.
Oh.
And you knew where we were going with this. The Bucks are gone.
I blocked it from my mind already. I was like, what is he talking about?
The Bucks are gone, and it could have went a lot better than it did. But it did not. They lost. They didn't get swept, but
Gentleman's sweep. I'm happy about that at least.
they did lose 4-1 to the Miami Heat. So I just want to kind of, I guess, get your opening thoughts on that.
I'm not happy about it, but
Fair.
I'd rather lose this round than the next round because I feel like from how this
That
team was
doesn't make
playing,
any sense.
from how this team was playing this bubble, I do not think we would have made it to the finals and or won in that at that matter. So
Really?
I'd rather go ahead and get knocked out and then have to delay my misery.
Really? You rather get knocked out now than in the conference finals?
We weren't making it there anyway.
I don't really.
Wow, now you're sounding depressed.
That's just. Dude, just look. It. I
I didn't
mean,
get to do my opening thoughts.
It's true. I did
what?
say opening thoughts.
I wasn't done with my opening thoughts, Alex.
Oh,
Okay, go on. Go on.
I also want to say I'm not happy about it, but I think the team did give some heart to it. They didn't just lay down and die. The refs on both sides were not good. I'm not going to say that they were biased to one side, but the fact that the Heat had a crap ton of free throws when the Bucks had little, and then they sent Jimmy Butler to the line like 10 times in the last 2 minutes. It's a reason we lost Game 5 or Game 6 or whatever it was.
I was about
Oh,
to
the
say,
Bucks didn't take him to six.
It was
Yeah,
They-
you
five.
didn't reach
Yeah.
Game 6, so
It was 5.
You,
See,
you thought the Bucks
I've already
could go to
blocked it
6
from my
games.
memory so bad that I can't even think straight. But I am happy that Giannis has come out and said that he's staying for the most part. That's what he said. So,
well, things tend to change if it gets too bad. But
Plus,
I do know that what was the report yesterday? There's like 4 teams involved. There's the Warriors, Heat,
the
Mavericks,
Clippers.
and the Clippers plus the Bucks are like the 5 teams that are
and the
I guess
Raptors.
seriously going after Giannis.
And he's
So-
gonna stay with the Bucks.
I mean, here's hoping, but also, can you fault him if he leaves? Like, if he left, like, are we really gonna be upset that he left? I mean, obviously you would
Yes.
be.
Well, no.
right?
Here's the difference, though. Like, it's not like the Bucks haven't built a team around them. It's not like they're not. It's not like they haven't done anything.
Fair.
Like with the Suns, like Devin Booker's been stuck with a sucky team for so long.
Fair.
So the Bucks have built a decent team around them. They've made it to the playoffs past few years. Last 2 years, they had the best record in the league and the best defense. So the team is good. It's just that the team just needs to take that extra step, and Giannis himself needs to take that extra step. And he will. I feel like he'd admit that because this playoffs, while he played good, he didn't play good enough to elevate the whole team. And I feel like he recognizes that. And if he left, it'd be more on him than on the team itself not building a team.
Well, what can the Bucks do to get better? I mean, you already talked about how they've had the best record in the league the past 2 seasons, right? So they've shown that during the regular season they're good, but what happens in the playoffs? Well, why did it fall apart?
It's about getting more depth and about getting like a real, like, I guess a bucket getter off the bench, really. Because we have George Hill. He's really good. I really like George Hill. But he's no like Bradley Beal or Jamal Crawford in terms of just getting a bucket when you need it.
Alex?
He's more the traditional point guard.
I got a few things. Well, the first thing they should do is they should look into the science of building a time machine, go back in time, and then actually keep Malcolm Brogdon and not give him away for a bag of chips. That's one.
That's funny because he wanted a max contract, Alex.
Well, you gave one to Chris Middleton, didn't you?
Chris Middleton's arguably better than Malcolm Brogdon.
8 for 24, 2 for 9 from 3. I mean, he scored 23 points.
I would like to point out that Malcolm Brogdon's team got knocked out of the playoffs. So
that's true, but
who does Malcolm Brogdon play for now?
The Pacers.
Pacers. That gets to my second point. The second point is that Mike Budenholzer should learn how to what's the word?
Coach.
Yes, actually, he should maybe take a page out of Tom Thibodeau's book and actually play his players in the playoffs rather than just saying 36 minutes is a ceiling. Michael Jordan played 40 minutes in the playoffs when he was 36 years old. So
I mean, Pascal Siakam just played like 54 minutes yesterday. So
well, I think the reason he wasn't playing Giannis 50 minutes was because he already had a pre-existing ankle injury, and when he played him more, he re-injured that ankle and he couldn't play Game 5. I'm just gonna throw that out there, Alex.
No. You're right. He didn't. You're right. He didn't play Giannis 40 minutes a game. That's fine. But he also didn't play anybody else. And I mean, just looking at it right now, I mean, when
Chris Middleton played like 40 minutes a game, dog.
He played 36 minutes a game, dog.
So, that's the majority of the game.
Can you two not use the word dog? You're making me uncomfortable.
That's the majority of the game. Mike Budenholzer is known for having a deep rotation to get everybody to touch the ball. So, I mean, like, it's not like we lost because he didn't play people 45 minutes and then they get injured and then they get gassed so they can't play the next game well. It's that he has a deep rotation. That's how he coaches. If you want to come up with a reason to say he needs a coach, you can talk about his late game defense, his late game offense, that he just lets them chuck it 20 seconds in the shot clock instead of saying that he doesn't play this person long enough.
Davis, the point is that not that you don't play. It's not about playing a certain person long enough. That's not the thing.
I wasn't talking about a certain person. I was just talking about in general.
What I mean, the minutes thing is about every minute that person's off the floor. Somebody like Pat Connaughton is on the floor. Like in game
Pat Connaughton is a good provider for the team.
He's like their Alex Caruso, but not as cool.
In game one, Pat Connaughton played 25 minutes and scored twice. Meanwhile, you had Chris Middleton, who was shooting 50% from the floor, 28 points that game, and you only played him 37 minutes. You only played Brook Lopez 27 minutes.
I'm pretty sure he was in foul trouble for that too.
Middleton did foul out, but Brook Lopez only finished the game with 4 fouls. So play him more.
But you can say he only finished with 4 fouls, but you take him out so he doesn't get those 2 extra fouls.
I mean,
if you play him continuously from the first to the third, then he'll foul out. You don't have him for the fourth, so you have to take him in and out there.
I think no matter how you try to argue about this, the fact that matter comes down to
the Bucks lost.
Bucks lost, and they need to figure out something because
I don't think it's that you play everybody more, Alex. I don't think that's the solution.
They can't do this.
Then what is the solution?
I just told you the solution a minute ago, and then
they don't have money
long enough.
They don't have money in the cap space.
They can trade Eric Bledsoe.
Let's talk about one of the things that popped up on the radar for the Bucks, in the last 48 hours is Chris Paul. There's been talks about the Bucks trying to go after Chris Paul via trade to OKC. Davis talking about Eric Bledsoe's contract. I mean, Eric Bledsoe ending up in a trade with Chris Paul doesn't seem out of the equation. Now, we can sit here and discuss Chris Paul's injury history and whether or not he could even make it through the season with the Bucks.
He'll be fine. Mike Budenholzer are playing for 12 minutes a game. It'll be fine.
But
Who had the best record in the league, Alex? That's all I'm gonna
the
say.
best
who
record
got
doesn't
bounced in the
matter.
second
It
round?
doesn't matter if you don't win. That's the crazy part.
I'd say that's like if a Warriors fan just plugs in and say they went 73-9. Doesn't matter.
But that's still an accomplishment. You have to acknowledge.
It is.
Yeah.
They're the best regular season team. I'm not saying they're the best team
That's
in
like
general.
that's like getting an A on your first exam in a class and then failing the rest of it and saying, "Hey man, I got an A on my first exam. It's all good." No, it's not.
I think that'd
you
be getting an A. No, that'd be getting an A on every single test, and then you fail the final one.
Did you pass the
No, you
class
fail-
though?
But you
you-
still
you
pass
fail-
the class in that method.
But you failed before the final, so let's not forget that.
I feel like the better analogy. Let me handle the analogies because you guys messed that up. Okay, you know, I have the great analogies. Okay,
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Joe.
Alex
that-
was terrible.
that's what you guys trying to get at is that's like passing all the tests and doing all the homework in a class, but you get to the final and you fail, and because you failed the class, right? What was the point of taking the class and doing so well only to get to the end and trip up? Because now you gotta do it all over again. You gotta do the same thing all
They
over
got
again.
overconfident.
You gotta do the same thing all over again to get those credits back. All because you failed the final thing you had to do, which was win the championship. And for whatever reason, the Bucks just can't do it. Now, that I guess that means that they're gonna have to figure out how to build a team. I have no idea how much cap space the Bucks have. It's not a lot. I do know that. It's not a lot to change how this team's gonna look the next year. And I do know that with the virus going around and all that, that the cap space doesn't look all that great. It may shrink a little bit. So a lot of teams are gonna have some money problems. The Bucks are gonna be one of them. They're gonna have to offload some contracts, Eric Bledsoe, and figure out how we can build around Giannis with the money that we have and be competitive. Or they say, look, we have the team. We shown in the regular season that we're good. We just got to flip the switch in the playoffs. But that's putting all your eggs in a basket for a third time, saying it's going to be different. And we all know what the definition of insanity is, correct?
Yes. I played Far Cry 3, I know.
What? Based on this, it says that the Bucks have negative 21 million in cap space. So,
What are you doing, playing 2K?
evidently,
We signed Eric Bledsoe to a near max and Chris Middleton to a max. So, I mean, it's reasonable that we have that. But
Chris
when
Bledsoe got half a max.
he signed a
fairness.
max.
Well, right here it says that he's getting 15 million a year. If that's a max, then dang.
I
But
think
they
I
did
think
sign all
that's
these
his
bird
max.
rights. Is that I thought a max is a max. Is it not?
It's different for different players. If you win like a defensive player of the year, you get a higher max than others.
Yeah, the NBA is a little bit different than other leagues. The max for one player is going to be a lot different than the max for another player.
I see.
Giannis's
Okay.
max is going to be a lot higher than Chris Middleton's max.
Yeah.
Sure.
But Giannis has the bird rights, so I'm hoping.
Oh, wait, was Ilyasova hurt, or did he just not play?
He might have opted out, or he played a little bit. I don't know.
Because he has a $7 million contract.
I think
That's-
he should rework his contract because he's really good,
Yeah.
and I think he likes it with the Bucks.
Now, if the Bucks are as a strong a unit as I think they are, a lot of people are going to restructure their contracts so they can get hopefully a little bit more money to spend. Granted, I don't know how much money they have even after restructuring. One player they don't have to worry about, Marvin Williams. Thank you for your service, 15 years.
Bum. He played so bad this playoffs. I like Marvin Williams, but oh my goodness,
But
Yeah, he actually.
he looked like he should be in a rec league during the playoffs.
well, that's where he's going now. 'Cause he's retiring.
I was about to say.
I
he's
don't know if I'd pick him up there. Honestly, some
I'd
of those
pick him
shots
up.
he was taking.
At least
He'd
actually,
take like free throw floaters and hit it off the front of the rim, and then be surprised when you miss.
all right. So when the second All-Star game happens and Marvin Williams is on the court for my team, don't say nothing.
Martin
I'll talk
Williams just
trash.
dunks
I will
on
talk
Davis.
trash to him. I'll be
Sends
like,
Davis
oh,
out the wreck.
I'll talk trash to him. What? He's 37 or something. 36. He's
Yes,
not doing
Davis.
Yeah,
that
and he
He's
anymore.
will
also
drop
6'11".
and he will drop double his age on us if he's
probably-
on that
he definitely-
record.
He 100% will.
About to say, even if the man's is terrible and slow, he'd still have a good, what, 8 inches on anybody?
Let's move on to a series that I feel like nobody actually cares about. It's Clippers Nuggets. It's already
Yeah, I don't care.
it's already 3-1. I didn't realize they already played 4 games. That's how like far back I am. That series started last Thursday. It's been a week and it's already 3-1.
I've been keeping track because simply I just like Jokic, but, I figured it was a wrap.
Oh, it's
They
definitely a
should.
wrap. This series is already over. Like when
The Nuggets were down 3-1 last series.
yeah, they were, but here's my golden rule in the NBA, right? Death, taxes, and you never trust the Nuggets.
That's
Don't
true.
trust them. Don't do
It's
it.
true. You said that statement when we talked about them being down 3-1 to the Jazz.
And they somehow came back and won. And I may now change that statement to never trust the Jazz because that's the territory they're heading in.
I was about to say the Jazz, that's been them lately.
But I was watching the game end on my phone, and I guess ESPN didn't update on its like little browser thing, and it said 2-1. I was like, oh, that sounds right. But then when I looked on TV, it said 3-1. I was like, that's how much I'm keeping up with the series. I just assumed it was 2-1. It was actually 3-1. The series is already over in my head. I don't know if we have any comments on this series, other than I think everybody just still hates the Clippers after all the comments that certain
I'm about to
players
say,
are making.
I could talk about that for a while. First of all, let's see. Michael Porter Jr. complained about not getting the ball more, which I mean is valid because nobody else is really doing anything on the. I mean, from the offensive end, it's literally him, Jokic, and Jamal Murray. Jokic really is trying to carry this entire. What the?
You okay over there, Alex?
Yeah, you okay?
I mean,
It's the
Was
warden
it the
knocking on your door.
buzzing you in?
Yeah.
yeah, it was actually. How'd you know? And who can forget Patrick Beverly, the one of the best floppers, or worst, depending on how you describe it, floppers
No,
in the
Goran
NBA. Talking
Dragic
about
is better. Kyle Lowry's better. Marcus Smart's better.
Dave,
He's fourth.
did you see?
Have
Did
you
you see
watched
the
Goran
clips?
Dragic play?
Yes.
I saw him sing
Yeah, I
Bad
haven't.
Boys, so that's good. That's all I really needed, actually.
What?
You haven't seen that video of Dragic's singing Bad Boys to Jimmy Butler and what's his name?
I
I'm not
now
sure if I wanna
Goran
see that.
Dragic is now my least favorite player in the NBA because every single time he even comes in contact with a player, he like flails his arms and then starts going crying to the refs.
I mean,
I feel like a lot of players do that these days, so it doesn't really.
I know
matter.
that.
So,
Yeah, I think there's
the
been a
nature
lot
of the
more
league.
flopping in the bubble. Really, it's kind of weird.
I feel like if they do it and they kind of admit to it, like yeah, I mean that's part of the game, it's whatever. But if you do it and then turn around like Pat Bev is and like say, oh this player's soft, right? Or they're flopping, it's like come on, dude. You're acting like there's not 80 video cameras in that arena at one time watching you.
who can forget the time like a few years ago when somebody interviewed LeBron about flopping, and he's like, "What is flopping?" It's like I don't even know what that is, and I'm like, bro, how does that even?
I just remember, was it Celtics? Was that Marcus Smart that flopped that one time after like he got shot or something?
Yes.
he like did a backflip.
Yes.
Marcus
that-
Smart and Kyle Lowry are probably the kings of it.
At least
Don't
with
be
Marcus,
hating on Kyle.
at least with Marcus Smart, you know, I can look at Marcus Smart and be like, that man can drop 20 points on any given day and help his team out. And Pat Bev went 1 for 3 from the field with 2 points in 23 minutes. Now I get it; he's more of a defensive player. He's there to clamp down. But dang, 2 points.
Yeah. I don't
Watch
know
out,
why.
he might go off and score 5, Jared.
Well, it doesn't matter. That series is over anyway.
I mean, I think, when you have Kawhi on your team, it's so easy to be likable because nobody hates Kawhi, really. Even
Yeah.
Spurs
Except
fans
Spurs
don't really
fans.
hate
No,
Kawhi.
nobody has beef against Kawhi, and they all know that. When
And
everybody,
now-
when
Actually, I don't know.
when everybody says they
76ers
hate,
fans might.
Oh, but 76ers fans. When everybody says they hate the Clippers, what they really mean is I hate everybody on the Clippers except for Kawhi and maybe. I mean, I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about
Zubac.
Zubac. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody cares about Zubac that much.
But like Beverly and Morris and Pandemic P have made it so easy to hate the Clippers, and I'm just wondering, like, how
They feed off
or
of it.
why?
team.
They feed off of it. It's like Popeye with his spinach.
They feed off it. People, I mean, just I don't even know.
This is why you leave the analogies to me.
Popeye with his spinach. I thought you were gonna talk about Popeye's chicken. I was about to start talking
No,
So
about
you're
it.
gonna
if I
talk
want,
about a Popeye's biscuit. I
if
was
I
like,
want,
whoa.
if I wanted to choke to death like the Nuggets are about to, I'll talk about a Popeye biscuit.
Oh, there you go.
You
Good one.
say choke, you say choke to death, but I mean they are the lower seed playing a team that
I really
I
thought you were about
mean,
to say the Popeye biscuit is not even that dry, and I was about to backhand you through Zoom.
I mean, I've seen people say they require to have a drink with that. I can eat those things without anything, so I'm
I
really
can
wondering.
too.
Well, yeah,
Well,
because
I think
that's what they give you in prison, Alex. You're used to it at this point.
that's true. They give you like hard tack biscuits.
Morons.
I think the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is harder to eat than the Popeyes one. I was eating that one time in class and I nearly choked to death. But I can eat the Popeyes.
That's
I was like, I took a bite. I was like, this is the end. I'm done. I
that's
didn't have a
like
drink. I really thought it was it.
that's why you get the chicken minis. If they changed their bun to whatever bun they make the chicken minis out of, that'd be
I don't
great.
know. I think if they changed the chicken mini bun to the regular chicken biscuit bun, the chicken minis would be even better.
No, no, no. That's why when I buy a chicken biscuit, I just take the bread off and I just eat the chicken. I don't want the bread.
The chicken mini bun's good, but like
No, it's not. Don't lie to
they're
me.
okay. They're
Don't lie
okay.
to
The
me.
chicken minis,
Oh, the chicken minis bun? Yeah, no, it's great. It's
it's
buttery.
okay. That's
It's
to me.
soft. Wait, how do we get here? Raptors Celtics. Let's go there.
Talking about soft, Kyle Lowry, Raptors. There you go. I got you.
That
The Raptors
they
have
was,
somehow made a series out of it. Uh,
They're winning in 7.
the
Bo-
craziest thing is every time they lose, they get slaughtered, and then like, or except game two they didn't get slaughtered. That's fair, but
so
or
pretty much
game three.
how this is gone is that obviously Boston wins game 1, okay? But then Boston wins game 2 and they go up. And then obviously game 3 the Raptors do or die. They got that win. They went down 3-0. That series is over. They do or
Yeah,
die. They got that big win. And then they tied it up. Boston just absolutely backhands them to go up 3-2. And then this amazing game, 2 overtimes, almost felt like a game 7. It was do or die for the Raptors. And they're able to get out with a 125 to 122 victory. And this series is now going to 7, looking at the box score. I talked about Pascal Siakam playing 54 minutes. No, he literally played 54 minutes of basketball yesterday.
and he
And
did basically nothing.
he scored 12 points, you know.
It's better than Kimba.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Kimba scored. What did he finish with? Kimba finished
5
with
points.
5 points in 52 minutes. He
Okay,
was
hold up.
he was 2 for 11, 1 of 6 from 3. Kimba
We
Walker,
need to talk.
Jalen
52
Brown
minutes,
finished 11 for
5
30
points.
too.
We need to talk about the fact that Jalen Brown took 30 shots. Who in their right mind decided, yep, this is our game plan, guys?
He started out really hot, Alex. He started out 7
No.
to 12.
Wait. If he started out 7 for 12, that means he went what, 4 for 18?
Probably.
Wow,
I mean,
that's awful.
Boston themselves went kind of cold toward the end. They were really hot, and then they kind of just
By the way, is Gordon
flopped
Hayward
over.
ever coming back?
No, he left the bubble.
Did he?
Really?
I've not been keeping up with Gordon Hayward.
He's probably playing COD or something.
I was just saying that because you talk about how the Bucks play so much bench basketball. I mean, this Boston and Toronto both have basically just said forget their bench players except for Norman Powell on Toronto.
Who,
But I mean, it's basically
played
become
a great game, scoring 23
Norman Powell's
points.
a dog. He
Who?
tore the Bucks up last year. Norman Powell.
I still can't believe though that they had that Norman Powell ISO for the win at the end of the first overtime. Like he played great, don't get me wrong, but just seemed odd to me.
He's got ice in his veins, dog.
I do think though, who is the lucky team in this series really? Because obviously,
Well,
the Raptors have had a little bit of luck to come back, but the Celtics have been winning while Pascal Siakam has literally been nothing.
I mean, if Kimba just wakes up the Celtics would win this game easily.
I mean, that's true, but
He
you could
never
say
did.
If Pascal wakes up,
I
like
want you to know that in 52 minutes, Kimball Walker scored 5 points. But in a projected 30 minutes in an All-Star game, Jacob Hillman scored 9. So put that in perspective.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
True.
just saying.
that's
Like
good.
One of them was
that's
a bank corner three. So I mean, like, who's really
exactly.
better?
So I'm just saying that you can't play like that and expect to win. I mean, Kimball's one of your main dogs, and he just now I know he's not used to this kind of situation. I'm in the second round of the playoffs. What? But you got to step up.
Wow, that was good.
I mean, but
I
it's
mean,
true.
no, and I know, and I think the same is said for Pascal because I mean he was the best player on this team in the regular season, and he literally has. I mean, people are making Giannis like comparisons because that's exactly what's happening.
I don't even know. I don't even know Kimball
In
Walker took
terms
a.
of getting shut down, Davis.
I don't even know Kimball Walker. He did make a shot in overtime. Let's see. He shot the ball a couple times in overtime, but I think he only scored once in both overtimes. I'm going through it right now. Uh, yeah. Kimball Walker shot it twice in both overtimes, and he only made one.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was. There's bad playoff performances. There's really bad playoff performances. Then there's that.
And I
I
mean,
think that's.
I sat here and I talked about how the Celtics were my favorite to come out the East, and for the first two games they were looking like it, and
Yep.
now it's like, well,
I remember when I said on the show that I didn't want the Celtics to make the finals because I thought they were going to get swept, and I was getting all nervous that I was so clearly wrong when they went up 2-0. But now, I mean, if Kemba plays like that in the finals, they will get swept by whoever.
I don't know how the series is
Honestly,
gonna
whoever
look.
comes out of the East is probably gonna lose in 5 games.
Probably. But I mean,
Well,
now I mean, the team that's probably favored. I'm still gonna go down with the ship. I'm still gonna go with the Celtics to come out the East. But I mean, it looks like it's the Heat that are the hot team right now. To
the
be
Heat are red
fair,
hot, that's true, and they're going
uh,
to have more rest than anybody, Celtics
so
or Raptors. Also,
so
Davis, I saw you give a look when I made my Siakam comparison. I wasn't saying that they're playing the same. I'm saying like comparatively.
I thought
Like
you were saying that Pascal was the new Giannis.
no. I was saying comparatively, like Pascal regular season versus Pascal playoffs is the sort of same dip that we see with Giannis, where he looks a bit more one dimensional because defenses tighten up and they've sort of figured out how to stop them. Because Pascal, I mean, Giannis just does the, I'm going to run directly through you, but then wait, you
You don't
put
have
four
to. I
people in
know.
front of me. And then Pascal does that spin move thing constantly and just throws it at the backboard essentially. So
if it
each have
works, it
their own.
works.
Well, it doesn't work, Jared. That's the problem.
Well, they've won what 3 out of the last 5, so apparently it does work.
Jared, they've won basically in spite of him,
Oh.
except for game four. They have won in spite of his performance. Last night, again, they won in spite of his performance, not because of it. Because it's not like he played great suffocating defense on somebody. Because I mean, all of his matchups got what? Tatum got 29, Tice got 18, Jalen Brown got 31. And unless
Celtics
he's
are
guarding
Daniel
Kemba,
Theis's team. I just want you to know that.
That's true. You know how many like alley oops that man got in overtime that I saw just itself? That man had more alley oops than Kimba had points in overtime.
that is probably
It's
true, yeah.
Daniel Theis's team.
It really is. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on TNT, Lakers Rockets. Lakers are up 2-1 in the series, and they're favored by 5. Although the Rockets, got the jump on the Lakers in Game 1, it has not gone the Rockets' way since. Not at all.
Yeah. And I mean, part of that problem is because Russell Westbrook has once again just I mean, I think the thing that's so frustrating for so many people about watching him play is that there's no player that can so run from like, MVP level performance to the sole reason you lose. Like, Giannis, he goes from MVP to being a good player. They didn't need to be a little better, but still, he doesn't, cost the Bucks games in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook, when he's playing bad, it's awful, really.
Does he ever play
So
good anymore?
yeah, he does. Well, what
In
game?
ter-
Let me see. I mean, game one he played good. Not great. Not Westbrook
Who, who, who,
MVP season
who
great, but he
told me?
played good.
I think Carter told me on a show like a year ago. He was like, "Do you know where Russell Westbrook ranks in 3-point shooting in the last 5 years?"
It's
And
dead
bad.
last.
it's like he's like honestly he's like in the hundreds somewhere, and it's like okay, well maybe he's not a good 3-point shooter.
And he keeps shooting.
And I
Hey,
will say
shooters gotta shoot.
last night he played great. He 38, 6, 13 of 20 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Last night was just a case of, I mean, they
Excuse
had
me.
nothing.
Yeah, excuse you.
Last night was actually really just a case of the fact that PJ Tucker, who's been the secret of the series, did not necessarily have nearly as good of a game as he had had the previous two. And I mean, Eric Gordon and Robert Covington have not provided much so far. But I don't know. Right now, it's just a matter of I think the Lakers are just a better team than they are, really. And there's not much else they can do about it other than, have PJ Tucker magically stop Anthony Davis,
Uh,
which, I mean, sort of
Don't
happened.
sleep on PJ.
I'm not. He did really well, but I don't know. It's just, it's not one of those series
Alex,
where it's like, oh,
all you're saying is in a nutshell, the Lakers are gonna win tonight.
yeah, essentially, because I mean, I'm not sure what the Rockets can do really, because they played really good last night. They had their two best performances of the playoffs together, probably from Harden and Westbrook, and they still lost.
They have to hope and
Or
pray
should
that
I say?
either AD or LeBron doesn't have a good game.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, that's how you beat the
which
Lakers.
which those LeBron bad games in the playoffs are happening more frequently lately, but I say that by comparison, it happens like, once every three series. So,
It doesn't help when you have like these good backup players like your Caruso's or your
be careful now.
I was gonna say JaVale McGee, but Devin's not here.
I was going to say, don't you dare say Danny Green
I don't care about Danny Green,
or Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
KCP, after his
Yeah.
1 point performance the other day.
I, I really am kind of in awe of the fact that the Lakers are the best team in the West despite having basically two useless players play shooting guard.
I
Because,
mean,
I mean, they could have considering the money they have KCP signed to, they could have such a better player and be such a better team, but instead they just have him. He's
remember,
basically just what?
remember they were supposed to have DeMarcus Cousins at one point. That's
Oh
like
yeah.
that's like the bad boy Pistons like reignited if they
Uh,
let that happen.
no, I think if DeMarcus Cousins went to the Clippers, that would be more like it.
I don't know. I feel like the Lakers team would be a lot different. DeMarcus Cousins was on it.
Well,
If,
yeah, but I mean,
if
DeMarcus
DeMarcus
Cousins and
Cousins on
Marcus
the
Morris.
Clippers, yeah, the Clippers already would have been like locked in a hotel room with like a metal pipe in their door.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm about to say. The bad boy Pistons were physical. The Lakers are not that.
I feel like they can
They're
get
just,
physical.
I mean, they can, but they're still the Lakers. So, I mean,
They don't need
yeah,
to get physical because they get all the calls anyway.
Fair.
there's that too. What is
Tomorrow,
there?
go ahead, Alex.
I was gonna say everybody keeps saying that they're rigging the NBA Finals to get a Lakers Celtics Finals.
I mean,
Apparently,
Lakers Heat wouldn't be bad either. I mean, those are two big markets as well.
sure. It's just as long as it's not Milwaukee and it's not Denver.
Yeah, I think the NBA
Or-
is fine with either Miami or Boston at this point.
They just don't.
If
They
you're talking
just
about, if
do
you're talking
not.
about rigging, I think they're fine with that.
Yeah.
They're getting an LA team in there either way because the Clippers are not going to lose and the Lakers are not going to lose. They're going to get their LA team, and then they're going to get their either Miami or Boston team, or they get the returning NBA champions, which I think for the most part the NBA is fine with that.
I mean, we the North.
Tomorrow, Nuggets Clippers in Game 5. Clippers favored by 8. I assume that we're all going with the Clippers in that situation. Jamal Murray may drop 50, but it won't be enough.
Yeah,
He
Denver
may not
not to
even
go with
drop
the
that
Clippers.
much. They showed a graphic of Jamal Murray in the series versus the Jazz and then the Clippers, and it's not good.
Yeah, hey, maybe that's Patrick Beverly, you know?
And then obviously, Game 7, Celtics Raptors will be tomorrow. Boston is your 2-point favorite, which in basketball just means that it's a push at this point. They don't know who's going to win.
Yeah. Which again, this is the point where I think the bubble really has an effect because I mean, if this is game 7 in Toronto, I mean, with the crowd, I don't know how the Raptors would lose that game, but now, I mean, it's just in an empty gym
No, that
with
they're at home, Alex.
The logo's on the
well,
floor.
right,
The
of
logo's on
course,
the
their
floor,
their
Alex.
logo will be on the court and the We the North graphic will
Now,
be flying high,
to be fair,
but
that didn't help the Bucks very much, but they're the home
Yeah,
team.
the logo it didn't stay on the floor long enough.
it did stay on the floor long enough. Is that it? Yes.
Yeah, there was some glitches
Wow.
with it or something.
All right, so
By
that's.
the way,
Go ahead.
Um, I was going to say something we didn't talk about. How about the fact that there's a more recent push now to give anybody but Giannis the MVP? Because
That's so
once
dumb.
again, I
When
mean,
did when did they do MVP voting? Is it already done?
no, they do it before the finals, I think, like in between conference finals and finals, maybe. Um, but Davis, okay, let me just say this. I'm not going to say what side I'm on because I'm
Oh no,
honestly not
he's gonna
entirely
say something
certain.
stupid. Here we go.
The
But
warden's gonna come
if
tase you, Alex.
if if it was another player entirely, to remove the bias, remove the fact that he's your favorite player, yada yada yada, on your favorite team, all that stuff. If it was another player, and the argument was just, oh, it's a regular season award, you should give it to him, despite the fact that he has failed in the playoffs again, you would probably disagree.
No, because it's the MVP, which is a regular season award, and who was
But
the best player this season and the best team
but the
during the
debate
season?
has become, should it be a regular season award?
Yes,
Why?
because the Finals MVP should be given. Because if you bring your team all the way through
Finals
the playoffs,
MVP, the Finals MVP should be given to the best player of the playoffs.
no. Let me finish what I was saying, boy.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, we called you boy. He is the warden.
He's not. You see where Davis live ain't no warden.
You know what? You're not getting any gruel now.
Okay, yeah. I got a Pop Tart in the toaster.
I was gonna
Stop it.
say something, but I don't think
That's contraband, Alex.
I don't think it's very
Davis,
appropriate for this
Davis,
show.
put on some pants. What are you doing?
I'm wearing pants. You really want to go right now?
No,
The
say what you're
Finals
gonna say.
MVP goes to whoever leads their team through the playoffs and plays the best in the finals. There you go. That's the playoff MVP right there if you want to get technical.
Really?
Yes.
So LeBron should have won.
I said whoever just led their team through the playoffs and won the finals and played the best for that team.
I don't know if you said won the finals, but you just said played the
I think it was
best.
kind of implied, but there you go.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, I mean, Jerry West won it without winning the finals.
That's
You can give
true.
it to someone
That's
who loses.
true.
I don't care.
He dropped like what, 50 a game or something like that? Some crazy number.
Look,
Um,
if the NBA wants it to be a regular season award, they need to vote on it before the playoffs start. Then,
That's
I think
true.
they should go. They used to do that, but then they decided to do it during the playoffs for some
But-
reason.
That's true.
if they're going to vote on it, what after the conference finals but before the finals, then it's no longer a regular season award, and I guess we just gotta accept that because there's no way that you could take an informed voter for the NBA finals or the NBA MVP, have them look at Giannis, see how dominant he is, but when his team loses, and not even the conference finals, but the conference semis, it's like
And in a 5-game series.
And he
course,
also got hurt in that series.
of course, people are not going to look at it and be like, "Yeah, I want to give it to him." They're going to look at somebody else. They're going to start looking at Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler's getting big buckets.
But then in the regular season, he wasn't that good.
It's true, but you got to remember, people remember how you finish, not how you start.
They should make a playoff MVP award. I'm cool with that.
I mean, isn't that what Finals MVP is?
There
But
you
it's
go.
not. Because
I mean, essentially, it is though. If it's assuming that you take your team all the way to the finals, that's MVP caliber. Not that you got knocked out in the second round and you played good those 2 rounds.
well, but getting all the way to the finals doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player in the playoffs.
I mean,
Okay, but if you get knocked out in the second round, are you the best player in the playoffs?
If you play amazing and still get knocked out in the second round, just because the
You
rest of
don't
your
deserve
team
the
fails to show
award.
up.
Well, let me ask you this
If
question.
Giannis dropped 50 a game,
No.
50
If
and
you go, if
20,
you win 30 games in the season, but you play amazing, you're gonna win the MVP.
no.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think Donovan Mitchell believes he's MVP of the
Why
playoffs?
is that?
He played out of his mind, but
I
his
think
team
Oh,
still
Jamal
lost.
Murray.
His team still lost in the first round. So does he get consideration for playoff MVP?
He'd
it's a
probably
fair
get some
point.
consideration, but he wouldn't win it.
Exactly.
He get a few
And
votes.
to him, I'm not gonna speak for him, but he probably doesn't think he deserves it either, because his team
Yeah,
didn't make it.
fair.
You know,
He's probably plotting ways to kill Rudy Gobert instead.
Giannis played amazing in the regular season, and he played amazing in the bubble. He probably deserves MVP, but I bet you in his heart he doesn't care because he wants to be playing in the conference finals. So I think, quite simply, you have your regular season MVP, right, of the league. You have this MVP award. You either have it before the playoffs begin and leave it at that, or you have it before the finals. Or in my opinion, if you're gonna have the vote before the finals, you might as well just wait till after the finals at this point. I know that
I can't
I
remember
know
when it is.
I know that, like, in reality, if you win league MVP and you win the championship, you're probably gonna win finals MVP as well. I know that, but at this point, I mean, just have your awards at the end of the season.
Okay,
Just
but if LeBron gets the MVP award, do y'all think that's an issue?
no, it's LeBron. I mean, I can't dispute LeBron getting it. It's LeBron James.
Hey, wait a minute,
I,
hold up. Um, okay, so actually, this is worse,
Oh
much
god.
worse. So the voting took place on July 21st to July 28th, and they just wait to announce it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because players already
That makes even
getting
less sense.
aren't players already getting awards? Because, like, how uh
yeah, Giannis got the DPOY. Montrez got the
That
six man.
that
Nurse
is
got Coach of the
so
Year,
Yeah,
that is so
defense.
stupid. I mean, seriously?
so they voted on it before
Wow.
the playoffs started.
Wow. They voted on it before the season started. July
Wait,
28th.
July 28th. So when before the season restarted?
Yeah, even
Oh,
before that, I
I
think.
was like before the season started. Oh my
Oh,
god.
restarted, I mean, restarted. Sorry.
I
Sorry.
feel like that's better because I mean
No, it is.
they gave out league MVPs and stuff like that, and then they give out bubble awards. That was fun, and then
That was fun.
they have the playoff stuff. So
But
I feel like in this
I
situation it's
don't,
better.
no, it is better to vote like that, but the fact that you just sit on the announcement just for no reason other, because here's my point. I
They've
brought
been
it
doing
up
that for a few
because,
years.
no, and I brought it up because at this rate, if it continues, and if assuming he wins this year, which he will, and whatnot, the issue is going to become much more highly debated and an intense topic of debate between people because, and it's just going to get worse, and more people are going to be angry about it because, again, the fact that you just keep waiting until after the playoffs to announce an award you voted on before the restart even started just doesn't make sense to me because you're just doing that. What purpose does that serve other than causing controversy?
That way, when Giannis loses in the second round, and he's depressed after getting beat 4-1. They do the post game interview. They're like, this sucks, but hey, I got some news for you. You're NBA
Back to back
MVP.
MVP. Woo!
And
Yeah.
the confetti comes down.
He's crying.
So
And
I mean,
you're also defensive player of the year.
there's
I,
that. I mean, that's funny.
And I do even remember because I remember when the voting was actually because I remember the interview where on ESPN Ramona Shelburne went on. I think it was her. She went on ESPN and said she casted her vote for LeBron and then listed a bunch of story reasons rather than LeBron's actual play. She's like, "Oh man, it's just been such a tough year for LeBron." I was like, "That's not how you determine it, but go off, I guess."
Is she the one that she's the one that said like Giannis was 100% going to the Warriors, right?
Probably.
I think that was her.
Nice. I don't know. Just that just doesn't seem of all the great plans the NBA has put forth lately. The idea that they're just going to wait for the MVP to be announced until after the season, which is clearly just causing more controversy and doing more harm than good at this point, just seems very not a good idea.
They used to do it like I remember there's the picture of Derrick Rose holding his MVP before the playoffs. So they go into the playoffs with the MVP, and it
Yeah,
kind
that
of
works.
maybe gives him more motivation.
Rest in
Dirk
peace,
Nowitzki
Derrick
did it, but
Rose.
then he got crushed. I
Yeah,
guess
the Heat were like, nope.
Don't
And I
remind
mean,
me,
they
MJ.
gave Dwayne Wade 400 free throws, but we won't talk about
they
that.
gave Jimmy Butler 400 free throws.
Not nearly as many as they gave Dwayne Wade, but go off.
Okay, 300.
All right, let's move on to Major League Baseball. Uh, something's
We need
happening.
Jake. We need Jacob here.
He's okay. Don't worry. He's over the moon right now after last night Braves game, where
Was it that?
the Braves put up 29 points. That's right, 29. Well, I say points. This is baseball.
Runs.
29
Runs.
runs. They won
Gosh, Jared,
29
you
to
know
9.
nothing.
Look,
It's a football score.
It's 9:49 in the morning where I'm at. Okay, you gotta give me a break.
It's
8:49
8:49 in the
where we
morning where we
are.
are.
Yeah, and you guys sound
Moron.
dead. I need you guys to like get like animated. All right, I need you to wake
Let
up.
me go. Let me go drink. Give me 1 second.
I need you guys to like drink coffee before the show. I know
Don't
it's
do
early.
coffee.
I know it's early, but like, come on.
All right, Jared. I'm gonna get it animated
Is that
for
a
you.
yoo-hoo?
Yeah,
I'll stab somebody over a yoo-hoo.
I got an
want you to
extra one
know.
if you want to come get it.
Nah, I'm good. I don't like driving 40 minutes for a yoo-hoo.
They're pretty small, so
All right, so just keep this in mind. The Atlanta Braves scored 29 runs in the seventh inning, correct? By the seventh inning, they had 29 runs.
I believe so.
Their 29 runs in that 7 innings was more points than the 2017 Cleveland Browns scored in any of their 16 games. I just want to throw that number out there for you. The 2017 Cleveland Browns, Hugh Jackson led, never scored 29 points. But the Atlanta Braves did it in 7 innings last night.
That's just.
I'm just saying.
That's not great. That's not great at all.
So
it's crazy.
The Braves absolutely just backhanded the Marlins. There were some other high scoring games too. Giants 10-1 over the Mariners. And the one that got overshadowed, I saw it earlier in the day. The Brewers won 19-0 against the Tigers. And that just went out the window because the Braves scored 29 runs. Just imagine you winning 19-0. And you're like, wow, we played an amazing game. They're going to be talking about that game. And then somebody scored 10 more runs than you did the same night.
Imagine the ERA for those opposing pitchers.
It can't be good. I don't even know who like the ERA for the Detroit pitchers even was at the end.
I'm assuming it wasn't great.
The last Tigers pitcher to go out there, Demerit, I believe is how you say his name. His ERA is now 36. He pitched.
Oh.
He pitched 1 inning, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, and he gave up 2 home runs in that situation.
Wow. That is.
Let's see. For the Marlins, let's see. What's their highest ERA? The Marlins, they have 2 pitchers at an 18 ERA.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what was it?
Yamamoto probably has the worst of it. He went 2 2/3 innings. He went 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 11 hits, 13 runs, 12 of them earned. He had 3 strikeouts, but he gave up 4 home runs.
That's it's difficult. Yeah.
In 2 2/3 innings pitch, he threw 94 pitches. He threw what is considered a whole game in less than 3 innings.
He had a tough 3 innings.
He really
mean,
did.
Was this a case of bad pitching or just the Braves being the hottest team in the history of ever during that game? Because I mean, anybody the Marlins threw at them just got destroyed.
I mean, I would say it's a case of bad pitching on top of the Braves just feeling themselves, I guess.
Yes, but also, did they only go 8 innings?
No, I think they went 9.
Because it said, I'm looking at the stats right now, it just says 8 innings pitched in total by the Marlins.
Well, that's because they don't have to pitch the bottom of the ninth, right? The Braves are the home
Oh,
team.
you're right. They were the
Come
home
on,
team.
Alex,
That's my
wake
bad.
up. Come on,
I
man.
gotta look. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Wake up,
sorry.
Alex.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So obviously, baseball still going strong. Uh, I find it funny that Carter always makes fun of me about the Yankees because the Yankees are playing absolutely terrible right now, and I admit that
Yeah,
they are.
they are.
But like the Yankees are not even my favorite. Like they're one of my favorite teams because I lived in New York, but I don't care about the Yankees that much. Make fun of the Cardinals, but he can't.
Oh,
See,
you're a Mets fan then.
heck no. You ever said to me again, I will stab you. That's not a
I mean, it
threat.
could
That's a
be worse.
promise.
It could be a lot worse than being a Mets fan.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
could be a Mariners fan.
no, I'm good on that. Who's the worst
You
team
could
in the
be a
league right now? I guess the
Boston, Washington, and Pittsburgh, and
mm,
Arizona.
dang. Rest in peace, Arizona. But do we have anything to say about baseball? I feel like it's kind of just at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got some NBA news for you, Jared.
oh my gosh.
What happened?
Danielle House Jr. is under investigation for bringing a secret female into his room who has tested
Oh yeah,
positive for COVID.
I remember the notification. It said I think all Bleach Report said was NBA investigating Daniel House. I'm like, what the heck did this dude do? And was
Apparently, he brought
breaking protocol.
a COVID-19 testing official who tested positive into his room.
Wait,
So
he brought a what? A COVID-19 testing official?
yeah, someone apparently it was someone that tests for it, and she ended up testing positive. He brought her into his room
It's like the Seahawks. It's like
allegedly.
the Seahawks thing, but even worse.
And someone commented he took one for the team. We all know the female was for Harden.
Hey, I'm looking at the same post, Davis.
Oh boy. Imagine they because the NBA hasn't had a positive test in like what, almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And imagine like this is how the positive test happens. It's like, how did the NBA bubble get compromised? Daniel House tried to score, and he missed the layup. Oh man.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Let's get into the big news, right? Guys, do you know
The
what
big
tonight?
news.
Do you know what tonight is?
Tonight is the
Thursday
first
night.
game. Uh,
The NFL is back.
It's the Chiefs Texans. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
that's gonna be an awesome game. Actually, wait, no. Well, Bill O'Brien got rid of the entire Texans team. Never mind.
They did it.
It's just Deshaun Watson and scrubs.
Put some respect on J.J. Watt's name.
Yeah, he's gonna be catching passes from Deshaun Watson.
He might as well.
Actually,
I mean, is that a bad
he did play
idea?
fullback
I've got
back in
Deshaun
Wisconsin.
Watson as the starting quarterback for one of my fantasy teams, so he better do good.
I'm not even playing
Ouch.
fantasy this year because I'm tired of it.
Well, I'm in
I
one
can't.
league. Alex is in it too. That whoever loses has to take the ACT.
With riding.
Yeah, with riding. I'm gonna pass that puppy if I get last. But my team's
you're not.
insane. My team is probably the best team.
Davis, your team is not the best team.
I got Pat Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore.
How'd you get Patrick
You
Mahomes
already.
and Christian McCaffrey?
I'm just that good, man. I had the first pick.
I mean, I have Lamar and
How many?
Saquon
Wait, how many
Barkley,
people are in
so
this league?
14.
14, yeah.
Wait, there's 14 people in this league, and you somehow ended up with Patrick Mahomes and Christian McCaffrey.
I drafted
Are
Christian McCaffrey first.
whoa. Are you in a league? No offense to whoever's in this league, 'cause I know Alex is in it, but what I'm about to say is true for Alex.
Alex had second pick.
Are you in a league with a bunch of idiots?
No, because most leagues now they pick quarterbacks late, and
Because running backs are.
Okay, but
Yeah, where do people-
Patrick Mahomes is a different breed.
I know.
That's true.
So it was a snake draft, and it was like 28 picks later, I guess, when I got my pick again. I had back-to-back picks, so I went ahead and picked Pat Mahomes and DJ Moore. I kind of reached for Pat, but I figured it's Pat Mahomes.
The
so.
fact that 27 people
Hey,
passed up on Patrick Mahomes, who had 5,000 yards and over 50 touchdowns, and he could run, by the way.
Alex got
MVP.
Lamar.
He just signed a $500 million contract. That's how good he is. And 27 picks went by before somebody was like, you know what? Maybe I should reach on this dude. He may not be that good for me, but maybe I should reach on this dude.
I mean, okay. Jared, you're probably going to yell at me for this.
Oh,
but
I yell at you
it was-
anyway.
It was Serpentine draft, so I had the pick right before Davis, and my pick came down to Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes.
And you put Lamar
And-
Jackson.
Yes.
Why?
because
Are
of his
you an
running
idiot?
ability.
His running ability?
Yes.
I
I
will say though,
I honestly don't know what to say right now. Like
However, let
you
the
you,
record
you
show
said
that.
you said that I would be mad at you and I would yell at you, but honestly, Alex, I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed in you, and I don't know
Look,
if I don't know if I ever felt this way about you before.
in the moment, I felt good about it. Okay, and honestly, I mean, my team's pretty good too. I'm just saying.
Who were your first two picks?
Saquon and Lamar. I'm about
that
to
is a
say,
decent
I'm
team.
about to say, Jared, I did not do bad in this. There are players who did worse than me. I did good.
Yeah, there's 14 people in the league, so like it kind of all the players kind of got like thinned out pretty quick
Let's say,
because
let me read the starting
I mean,
lineup I
I
got.
have
I
Leonard
got
Fournette. I have Leonard Fournette as my second running back, and then my
Yee.
other running backs I have are Chris Edmonds and Darrell Williams or Darnell
Yeah,
Williams.
no,
Darrell Williams.
like that thing
well,
is, I've
keep in
got
mind,
Lamar and Saquon, but then I've got Cam Akers, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Higbee, Darius Slayton, the Denver defense, and Robbie Gold. Like it's not. I do have Aaron Rodgers as my backup quarterback though.
I got Daniel Jones as my backup
Oh,
quarterback.
okay, so that sounds like your team
excuse me, that
sucks.
is Daniel Eli Manning Jones to you. Don't you forget it.
I mean, I could pick up Derek Carr off
Now,
waivers. He's just sitting there.
That
keep in mind that Weagle had a 14 team league last year. Okay, that I got wrapped into. Were you guys in that?
Mm-mm.
no,
No,
you didn't
Oh,
let us in, Jared. Just like you didn't give us Weagle shirts, you didn't let us into the league either.
okay.
I got a Weagle shirt.
Yeah, he got
What?
one. I don't know what happened to you. I'm
I got a polo. It's
positive.
too big.
I'm positive I gave you one. I just don't think you remember. I think your dementia's
Jared,
catching up on
I
you.
would know where it was. I never got that shirt.
I gave all the new people a Weagle shirt. The gray one with
Nope,
the orange writing,
Yeah,
right?
I got that one.
Everybody got
nope,
one. Your
I did
dementia's
not.
catching up to you. It's probably in that closet right behind you.
No, it's not, Jared.
Well, then
I'm
ask your
telling you
mama
it's
because
not.
you know where it's at.
My mama's
Because
not here. Shut up.
it may be at home. I don't know.
I will
Uh,
say, Davis, you are playing a team that has Josh Allen, their starting quarterback, and they're still projected to beat you.
That's Tanner. What? They're not projected to beat me, are they?
Yeah, they are by 3 points. They do have Amari Cooper, David Johnson, Dalvin Cook, and Keenan Allen.
David Johnson? I think he's in Miami now, isn't he? Good for
That's
No,
kind of
him.
like
he's
a
in
boomer.
Houston.
That's kind of a boomer bust team.
That's true. David Johnson could go anywhere from giving you
Point being,
5 points or 20.
point being, the NFL starts tonight.
I'm ready.
I'm
Chiefs,
watching Spider-Man 2 tonight
Texans.
instead.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe I don't know.
You better be watching Treasure Planet, Davis.
I have time tomorrow.
Okay,
Alex, it's not time to talk about this.
fine.
It's gonna be a fun one this weekend. Let's see. So let's go to everybody's respective teams. The Washington football team playing the Eagles. Washington is a 6-point dog.
I ask you all
Uh,
a question.
what?
Why am I excited?
Are you
I
excited?
mean, why? Why am I excited for the NFL season to come back?
Oh wait,
What
wait.
reason?
First, are you excited?
Yes, I am.
You're excited for the NFL season to come back, not because of Washington, but just
No,
because you
but
like NFL
I am.
football.
I am excited to watch Washington for some reason. Now, I ask you the question why. The same reason is why do I even bother getting hype about all the reports about the Auburn offense this offseason? Why?
That's because you're feeding into the machine.
Because, like, I legit said on the show a few weeks ago, if Washington goes 6-10, I'll be happy.
You know what that is? You're in an abusive relationship.
I am. I am.
That's all this is. It's
It,
like this is clear cut case of an abusive relationship. This is like them calling you up at 2 a.m. to come pick them up because they're drunk. You pick them up. They start hitting you in the car for no apparent reason. You get home. They say they're sorry. They start crying. They throw up in the toilet. They pass out. You put them in bed. They wake up. They don't remember anything. They do the same thing over and over and over again. Alex,
Jared,
what
did you
I'm
go through
saying
that?
is,
That's
Alex, no,
weirdly specific.
Alex, what I'm saying is the Washington football
Uh-oh.
team is your drunk girlfriend that it just puts you in a cycle.
It because I like
See, he knows it's true too because he doesn't know what to say right now.
I just,
It's Dan
I'm
Schneider, man.
sure. I mean, yeah, he's the worst owner in sports, but
You're
it's like,
you're in an abusive
no, like it's
relationship.
funny because like the most
It's
excited.
it's not funny. This
No,
is
no, no.
sad.
Yeah, it is because like the most excited this fan base has been in 2 years is when Bruce Allen got fired. An administrative official getting fired had people celebrating in the streets.
Yeah.
Again, he was the worst general manager in the history of professional sports,
No, he was not.
and
No, he was not.
Isaiah
Let me
Thomas
remind
said
you.
it,
Let me remind
Alex.
you that my GM ended my quarterback's career early.
did you see the Albert Haynesworth signing?
Did you
Did you see
see?
Isaiah Thomas run the Knicks?
Did you
Did
see Ryan Grigson draft the way he drafted, and the doctor coming out after doing angelic surgery and saying it was reminiscent of a car crash? That's how bad his offensive line was.
Jared, did you see Bruce Allen hire a new general manager to take away
How?
his position, get mad about it, then leak a story that this general manager is an alcoholic to get him fired? Did you see that? Because I saw it.
Oh, I saw it, but it's still not worse than the cancer story. So
Wait. Okay, well, Bruce Allen was there for that too, so none
I'm
of it
just saying.
matters.
I'm just saying.
Or at least allegedly leaked the story. Nobody really knows what happened, but all the fingers point towards him being like, oh, this guy. And it's like, no, yeah, great.
Moving on to another one of our teams, the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, get ready. Yeah,
Wait.
the
Playing
Las
my
who?
Panthers.
the Las Vegas Raiders
Let's get the
are
Panthers.
traveling to Carolina
Woo!
to take on the
Oh,
Panthers.
okay.
Las Vegas
Okay.
is favored by 3.
Wow.
No surprise here.
Teddy B is the starting quarterback, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know, it's funny because I think I saw a simulation on ESPN where they did simulation like 20,000 times, and I read the story, and ironically, the Panthers ended up with a tie somehow, which I thought was funny.
That would be a Panther thing to do.
But the Panthers are like projected to like win like 3 games, and I'm like, are the Panthers really that like
No, they're
down?
not that bad.
They're
Like
not that bad, but they're not that good either. Their offense is perfectly mediocre, and their defense is not consistent enough to,
I'm gonna
give
be
their offense a
I'm gonna
chance
be
in some
honest.
games.
The only reason I can name you one player on the Panthers defense is because Derek Brown was just drafted. I have no idea who else is on that defense.
I mean, Luke Kuechly was there, but then he,
Yeah,
wasn't.
Okay, Alex, you don't have to bring that up.
Thomas
I'm-
Davis was there, but then he,
That was
wasn't.
like 3 years ago, dog.
Who else we got?
Shaq Thompson is on the still. on
Who's
the team.
that?
He's a good player. Honestly, there's been so much move around. I might have to check to myself.
yeah. Like
This is
I
this
don't
is
know
why
who's
I
on the
played
team
Madden.
anymore.
to figure out the players on the teams. They got to play Madden, but
I'm not getting the new Madden, dog.
I know. Um,
$60 for the same game.
$60 for an awful game, not just the same game.
That's why you only buy it like every other year.
That's why I just buy NCAA 14 for 75.
Everybody's mad about the Colin Kaepernick thing. I don't even care. It's just a sucky game. I don't care.
Yeah, like I really
Like that's
don't
not
care.
going to be that's not the reason for me not getting it. It's just a bad game.
Yeah, it's just a bad game. Like
Same with 2K. 2K looks even worse.
2K is just
Wow.
sad. Watching what happened to 2K over the last couple of years is just kind of sad because 2K was good, and then
It was, yeah. Then they started getting money hungry.
I don't know.
Now
what
you got to
happened.
aim the layup, dude.
Yeah, but I saw someone tweet it's like he expected to be 2K 20.5, but it's actually just 2K 20.1. Is that bad?
Usually it's 2K 19.5.
And it's just like the face scans are even worse than last year somehow, even if it's the same ones.
Okay, I mean, I think the only saving grace 2K has is that no matter how bad they get, Madden just does it worse. Like the time they inadvertently made Kirk Cousins black. Remember, or was it
What?
It wasn't.
What?
So
Why do I not remember that?
people went to go like edit the player, and like the player model for some white player was black.
That was
It
Christian
looked-
McCaffrey, I think.
Oh, it was McCaffrey. My bad. My bad.
If
my
it's
mistake.
McCaffrey, that's just funny.
I was like, Kirk Cousins, that's the weirdest play.
But
I know they had a
like
situation
that.
where the what linebacker was it for the Browns? He was really small. That was funny though. You know that was funny stuff.
No, I mean it is funny, but it's also like really,
Sad.
yeah.
That's why after this show's done, when I play Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I downloaded it last night.
Hey,
Is
you're
it
playing
good?
that?
I
It looks
haven't
kind
played
of.
it yet. It got done downloading last night, so we'll find out. I'll
Jared, you
see.
should get Fall Guys
Look, when thinking
and Among
about
Us. You should get Among Us too.
different specials, I know I was talking to Alex about how
The COD special.
every month I want to do a special, right? An extra point special, and I already thought of one for the month of September, and it
What is
was
it?
the extra point Among Us,
Oh,
where
that'd be so fun.
it's
I'd love
it's
that.
pretty much us talking sports while also killing each other.
Among Us
Wait,
looks so
what?
fun. Among Us is a game. It's basically Secret Hitler, Alex.
Oh, now
Yeah,
that's
But it's
is
fun.
it
like one person's an imposter and they have to like do their little task or they have to act like they are and they
is
kill
it
everybody
just
else
for
on the ship.
PC or is it for other console? Is it for the
It's
console
for
as well?
you can get on your phone, but it's mainly on PC. It's like $5 on there,
Okay,
but it's free on your phone.
I'll have
But
to.
Discord's not. You can't integrate Discord into it or whatever.
I mean, that's fine because we can just open up our own Discord. I don't care. Just have Discord running separately, and then I already know how to put it all together because I already did the research. But that's probably gonna be spoiler alert. That was probably gonna be our first special.
I would love that. That'd be so fun.
Is the extra point Among Us?
What about a extra point Fall Guys?
That's gonna be a lot harder because with Among Us you can have the what 10 people.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's pretty much the whole crew at that point.
I mean, you can have like a party on Fall Guys. It's just like
But it's,
if
it's
one person
limited.
dies, they're done.
It's limited to 4. You know.
Is it? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So spoiler
Guys,
alert.
I had some.
What about a COD? We can just play COD.
No, I'm bad at that.
Okay, and it'd be
Plus-
funny.
Plus-
How are you bad at Call of Duty?
We can have like a tourney. We can just have
Because
like
my
face each other
my
1v1s.
hand-eye coordination is not very good. Don't make fun of me, okay? My
You just
reaction
camped in, Jared.
my reaction time's really slow.
No,
but,
that
I
would
feel
be
like
the
I
problem.
would destroy you at COD, Jared.
My point being is that I think it'll be funny after all the times that I threatened to kill somebody, I actually start doing it. But just through video game fashion. Alright, Alex, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we could talk about how Saturday Down South posted their predictions for the SEC this year and had Auburn going a whopping 6-4.
Losing to let me guess, wait, I got it. Losing to Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and for some odd reason Texas A&M.
Nope, Kentucky.
Dang it.
In fact, I think they had them. Let's see if I can find the official post. I can't find it anymore. Weird. But I think they actually had them losing to Kentucky and beating LSU, and then losing to Texas A&M as well. But still, I mean, I don't know how you can have them losing to Kentucky in week one, really.
Oh no, I could definitely see us losing to Kentucky. Don't get it twisted. That could definitely happen.
I'm not so convinced.
I don't know, man. Auburn week 1.
No, that's true. Auburn,
The scariest, like, here's the two scariest things, right? If you thought Auburn in big game situations was scary, you got to remember how week 1 Auburn is. Do we not remember how the Oregon game was for the first like 3 quarters?
Yes.
week one offense is traditionally awful. However, now we have a different offensive coordinator who maybe, isn't going to, do the Gus approach of where he just does the same
Yeah,
play
Alex,
over and over
we've
again
been
to set up
we've
stuff
been
later.
singing that same song and dance for the last what 3 coordinators.
Yeah.
He's gonna be different. I'm telling you. And then like nothing changed, and we're like, whoops, egg on my face.
It
Have you ever?
really is starting to frustrate me at this point. Just
I'm just
So
gonna
Jared,
I'm just gonna wait for the least first like half before I start to say, you know what, maybe he'll be different. I'm just gonna wait, a full half before I start saying that.
Jared,
yeah.
you said like you never know with Auburn that we could lose to Kentucky. Have you ever heard of like the infinite possibilities theory?
What?
I know what it is.
That with infinite possibilities and complete randomness, Auburn could either win every single game of the season or lose every single game of the season.
Look, in
Yeah.
in grad school, I'm gonna go into a grad school story.
Oh boy.
In the first couple of weeks, because grad school and communications is all about different theories and stuff, right? So I had to learn all these different theories. If you wanted to know in grad school, what I studied was organizational culture theory, which pretty much how organizations and their culture affect what happens around them. And I used that as being sports director for the last 2 years. There you go, Alex. That's what I based all my decisions off of was organizational cultural theory. All right.
Nice.
Boom.
In the first couple of weeks of the school year in Dr. Worthington's class, shout out to Dr. W, we had to come up with a theory. We had to make up our own theory, right? And we had to pitch it to the class, and we had to argue about why our theory was better. Spoiler alert, my theory won. And my theory was the infinite reality theory.
Is that already a theory, though?
Infinite reality theory. Mine's different because it's cool and it's made by me. Okay?
Let me hear
so
yours.
what you
I was
did-
watching a video about realities last night. Maybe I can see if it was
Wait,
the
what
same.
I'm hearing is that you saw another theory, changed it up a bit, renamed it, and was like, "All right, y'all, y'all ain't ready for this."
No, I didn't know infinite reality theory was a thing.
It's more like there's this theory called the string theory, and then it's based at like wavelengths in the universe are just like guitar strings, and based off that, they've determined that there could be 10 to the 500th universes parallel to ours. So it's kind of basically yours.
All I was saying in my theory, see, in that theory, there's multiple guitar strings, right?
Yes, but it's not proven. It's kind of conjecture.
In my theory, there's one straight linear path, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of there being multiple, the one linear path is on a course. It's like I don't want to get really nerdy here, okay? But if you know what Steins Gate is, it's pretty much that kind of situation, okay? Does anybody know what Steins Gate is?
I'm blanking on it.
Okay, so I just literally let my nerdiness come out. Thanks, guys. You made me look like a nerd.
Jared, I was watching videos about science, like black holes, last night. So
That's because you watch too much Interstellar, Davis.
But pretty much,
I just love space, Alex.
there's there's one linear path that is reality. It's what we are on right now. And pretty much when something major happens, something either major or small, it diverts us onto a different line. But you never realize it because it happens just like that, right?
That already is a theory, actually.
But Alex yawning without us realizing put us on a different line. We just didn't feel it.
Because there's one theory without him yawning.
Yes. So pretty much all this is that there is one singular line, and every single action that we do and take puts us on a different line, and we just keep jumping back and forth between different lines in our realities. And that no matter what happens, right? No matter what happens, we're always set on a certain course of an end game.
Sounds stressful.
There's an end game somewhere. We don't know where it goes, but it's like getting on a random train in New York and trying to find your way through the city. There's a lot of tracks, but they all end somewhere. And
so
it.
your
pretty much
theory
what
is
life is in a
basically
nutshell.
that we cannot change the future or the past. We can only... There's nothing we can do. We can just end up there.
Yes. It's very bleak when you think about it.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of reality in a sense anyway. Because, I mean, time travel doesn't really work if you can change the past. It just kind of goes in a loop.
So, to wrap up this whole conversation, NFL starts this week, and I'm excited.
I kind of like that. We should have talked about that. We should just have like
now you guys
a quantum mechanics,
shut up. I'm not going that far.
astrodynamics
No.
podcast.
Just have something called Extra Point Endgame. Boom, problem solved. Name's
That's
the title.
what
Talking
the
about, like,
finale was supposed to be.
Ah, right.
Jared,
You
I've
hit-
learned so much
Jared.
about black holes in the last like 3 days. I could just talk about them.
Well, just Google Steins Gate, and you know where I'm coming from, okay?
How you spell it?
The way you think it's spelled.
A self-proclaimed. Oh, it's a TV. Oh, it's an anime.
It's also a
Jared.
theory. It's also a
That's
theory
that
itself.
picture. That's the picture you sent me the other day.
It is. It came from that. It came from that show. I found out about the theory. I found out it was a video game, and then I found out it was a show, and all that stuff ran together. Okay.
So you did just steal the theory.
No, I didn't know about it until afterwards.
Okay, that's
He
fair.
stole the theory.
Point being, Colts play the Jaguars, and I'm excited. Philip Rivers.
Point being,
Gardner missed you.
Okay, Jared, can I ask you a question?
What? We got like 12 minutes, and we still got to go through pick'em and college football.
Oh gosh. We should talk about South, because how wrong are we about that one?
I bought into what you said. Okay, so it's your fault, and I blame you.
Jared,
What did
they
you say?
are
I wasn't
terrible.
there for that. I wasn't there for
I mean,
that.
I said they were awful, and there was no way they were going to win just because,
Hey, Jalen
like,
Tolbert, dog.
no, Jalen Tolbert he's great, and he was
Mac
great.
T,
And
Mac T alum, Jared.
stop being such a townie.
That's I'm a
But
boonie.
okay, whatever. But the point is that like I was like this Southern Miss has to win, and turns out they obviously didn't. But Jared, I want to ask you one thing before we go to the college football. So I know why I at least somewhat understand why I'm excited about Washington because for all their flaws, they're probably going to be nothing this year. But at least they have like youth, like they're a young team,
That's
probably one
like
of the younger teams in
that's
the
like saying,
NFL.
despite all their flaws, my significant other's pretty. Like, what the heck? That's so superficial.
No. It's like it's like no, it's like right now I have no hope for them to win this season, but like next year or the year after, there is that potential there just because they are a very young team. But like with the Colts, I mean, you either win this year or you're back at square one because you're not going to have a quarterback.
No, we'll be all right. We drafted a
Okay.
quarterback,
They got
Who?
Jacoby Brissett.
and we have
Who'd you
Jacob Eason.
draft?
Jacob Eason.
Uh, oh. Oh,
Yeah.
so you really are terrible.
Mm, don't be calling my
Hey,
team terrible.
Are they Panthers bad or Washington football team bad?
Neither.
They are
Go-
Miami
They're
Dolphins
worse.
bad.
Can you look at our division?
Ooh.
Can you look at our division and say, yeah, the Colts are going to lose that division?
The Texans are.
With the infinite possibilities theory, Jared.
You shut
it is
up.
a possibility.
You shut up.
Okay,
If
well,
you
let's
give a
say
monkey
this.
a typewriter and wait long enough, it'll write Shakespeare. Just saying.
All right, Jared, I'll say this. All right, you guys have the third best quarterback in the division. You
Wait,
do
time
not
out.
have
Who? Wait,
um
excuse me?
Deshaun Watson,
Okay.
Gardner Minshew, and honestly, I could put Philip
Alex.
From
Rivers.
how
Alex.
Philip Rivers played last year, Gardner Minshew's better. I'll
Alex.
take him
Actually,
over.
yeah, Philip Rivers did play terrible last year.
Alex.
So
Alex, I keep saying your name. My Alexa turned on. That's how I'm trying to get you to shut up right now. If you ever disrespect my team like that one more time, I promise you will not feel the wrath of God like you will when I come through your computer monitor and I choke you in your bedroom. And you see that light above you will be the last thing that you see. I want you to know that.
Jared, so you're all getting
Say it
upset
again.
and
Say it again.
sad because
Say it
the
again.
Colts are. You're getting upset because the Colts are garbage. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm getting upset because even though we were garbage last year, we still went 500. What you can't say about your Washington football team, that the best thing you guys had going for you was the Washington Post article that you finally got recognition, but it was because your whole team is a bunch of sleaze bags. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So how about you check yourself instead of checking out your own cheerleaders before you come stepping on my turf? Are we done with the NFL now?
Jared,
Gosh.
I didn't hear you say anything that really proves the fact that the Colts are still not just shooting
Alex,
a
stop! He's
directionless
gonna
mess.
keep going for you.
The Colts will be just fine. Darius
Yeah, you're
Leonard,
right. They're going to be 7-9, just
Dar-
fine.
How did we get worse from last year?
Because
How
you
do
have Philip Rivers. No, I mean he is a turnover machine. Like you could say, how do we get a quarterback that doesn't throw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns? If you don't have that, then yeah, the Bucs should be worse. But Jameis Winston.
Do
also
you know
threw
what our
30
quarterback?
interceptions.
Do you know what Jacoby Brissett did last year?
He didn't throw as many interceptions as Philip Rivers.
Yeah, but Philip Rivers was still more efficient than he was.
Let's go look right now. Why don't we? Because we know.
While you
why
go
don't we just
look, I'm on a time crunch because we have 8 minutes, so Davis has to go do calisthenics or something stupid like that. All right, so
I hope my teacher doesn't hear this.
I hope she does. First game up happens to be Tulane versus South Alabama. South Alabama is an 8-point underdog.
I'm going south in your mouth.
Please don't ever say that again.
That's their motto.
That's not their actual motto, you moron.
They're not allowed to say it anymore, but they used to say it all the time.
I'm about to say it's like neck at LSU. It's
I'm not gonna
Okay.
say the other one. I think the other one's worse than that one.
probably okay. So Jared,
Alex.
Jacoby Brissett,
Okay,
18
give
touchdowns, 6
give me your
interceptions. Philip
pick,
Rivers.
and then we can talk about it. South
Okay, I'm
Alabama,
gonna pick
Tulane.
South. I'm gonna pick
Okay.
South now.
I'm picking Tulane.
Alex, swag off. Say the other part.
Jacoby Brissett, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 60% completion percentage. Philip Rivers, 23 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, and completion percentage, I believe, was below 60. Bleed's percentage was actually it was 66%. Okay, it was good, but still 20 interceptions to 6.
I feel like that's also him trying to come back in a lot of games. So I won't follow him on that.
Maybe. But anyway, that's all. I'll leave you with that. Let's keep going.
Coastal Carolina, they're traveling to Kansas to play the Jayhawks. Those Jayhawks are a 7-point favorite. Davis.
Honestly,
Let's go
after what
Jayhawks.
happened,
Jayhawks.
after what happened where
There it is.
somebody got beat by like what? Oh no, it was BYU and Navy. After this, I'm still gonna pick the Jayhawks, but honestly, I'm gonna not pick the.
Were you
I'm
about-
going for
were
the
you-
Jays.
Were you about to say Coastal Carolina was going to backhand Kansas?
I mean, it is Kansas, Jared. Les Miles, Kansas or not, it's still Kansas.
I'll go Kansas as well. Here we go. It's the Blazers versus the Hurricanes down in Miami.
Honestly,
That game's tonight. This is tonight's game.
yeah.
By the way,
Let's go you.
that's for some
yeah,
reason it's going
after-
head to head with Thursday Night Football, but whatever.
After UAB only beat Central Arkansas by 10, it's Miami or bust.
I mean, let's pump the brakes for a second. This is a Central Arkansas team that's one of the best in FCS against a Miami Hurricanes team that I don't even know what they know what they're doing anymore.
That's true, but they have Rhett Lashley at offensive coordinator, so watch out.
Oh, that got me excited for Miami. I'm taking the U, but begrudgingly.
Let's go you.
All right, Louisiana versus Iowa State.
Cyclones?
Yep. Who else? 11.5 point favorite.
They're just so boring. I always forget them.
Obviously the Cyclones, right?
I'm going
Yeah.
with Cyclones.
You don't walk in Ames, Iowa, and think you're gonna win yourself a football game. Ames, Iowa is the black hole of college football.
That's
Speaking of black holes, did you know? I'm just kidding.
Shut the hell
Jared,
up.
not Jared. Davis, stop it.
Arkansas State versus Kansas State.
Um,
Kansas State 10.5
in
point
Kansas
favorite.
State,
Wait,
I'll
Red
pick
Bulls?
Kansas
Red
State.
Bulls? I'm going
Yes.
Red Bulls.
Red
Well,
Wolves
actually,
versus Wildcats.
I'll pick Kansas State, but I will not pick them to cover.
Red Bulls,
They'll
Red
win
Bulls. I'm going
They'll
Red
win by
Bulls.
7.
I'm going Kansas State as well. Here's a fun one in the ACC. Georgia Tech, Florida State. Where's that game at?
Triple options undefeated, and
Wait,
Florida
where's that
State.
game at?
Who is their coach
Oh, there it
anyway?
is.
Oh, it's in Florida State. They're at Florida State.
12.5 point favorite for Florida State Seminoles.
I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech. This is the first year without Paul Johnson, so it could be a very unique thing that they're not prepared for. Florida State, I mean.
Wait, I
so-
thought last year was the first year without Paul Johnson.
Oh, oops.
I didn't.
I
Don't
goofed.
worry. They all forgot last year too because it was that bad. So don't worry.
I might have done goofed on that one. My bad.
Yeah, I'm going Florida State. UTSA versus Texas State. It's a battle for the state of Texas.
Oh gosh.
Texas State 8-point favorite. It's a Texas State team that took SMU down to the wire.
I'll pick Texas State then. Actually, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, forget the Roadrunners. I'm going Texas State as well. Davis.
Well, I can't. Actually, I am Texas State. I was gonna say we can't all choose Texas State, but I don't care.
All right, here we go. Western Kentucky is traveling to take on Louisville in a clash at 8 o'clock at night. Louisville is an 11.5 point favorite.
Let's go Cardinals.
Give me Louisville by 3.
I'm going to Louisville as well. Duke versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 20-point favorite. That game obviously on NBC.
Who is the starting quarterback for Notre Dame?
Who does it matter?
It does.
Is that
actually.
is that gonna change your pick?
Yes, actually, it does. Who's the starting quarterback?
I don't know.
Somebody.
Somebody competent
Somebody.
enough.
Okay, fine. I'll just look myself because you're both useless. Okay, so the starting quarterback for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish is it's Ian Book. In that case, then Duke by 40.
Are you being serious?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm picking Notre Dame, but that's just. I mean, I got to mock Ian Book while I can. You know, he's a 14-year senior, so.
Alex, just leave the jokes to me and Davis, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Davis, your pick in that game.
That hurt, guys.
I'll go to Blue
You're bad
Devils
at
just to piss off Alex.
I'm going Notre Dame. And finally.
Dude, why would you pick Duke?
We're not putting money on this. I don't care if I get it wrong.
Yeah, but we are in a season-long pick'em, so.
Ah, damn.
And finally, the extra point game of the week. It's the biggest game on the schedule. By default, I think. And it's only because
Oklahoma versus Missouri State?
No, it's only because game day is there. Clemson taking on Wake Forest. Clemson is a 33-point favorite.
You know what? I think I'm going to go the underdog. I'm just kidding. Clemson.
Man, give me Clemson by 60.
I mean, I'm taking
However,
Clemson.
it is in Wake.
I'm taking Clemson as well. That doesn't matter. What has Wake
true.
done in the last 5 years?
There is no home field advantage anymore. I forget. There is no home field advantage anymore.
So, there we go. That does it. Davis, I got you out of here before
I gotta go.
started. All right.
Peace.
So, Alex, I guess it's just us two now.
I mean, you got anything else to say?
No, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and end the show. So
Colts are trash, by the way.
look, I don't wanna get into my tirade again about the Colts and the Washington football team. I'll let my team speak for itself while your team flounders in the dark this whole season. All right,
Jared, I have no problem going 6-10 and getting another high draft pick.
the fact that you think even going 6-10 this season is laughable in itself.
Jared, we will not. Okay. We should not be worse than last year. That's all I can say.
You're a poor fool if you think that.
Why?
Because Washington's just not that good of a team. You're just
Have
not.
you seen Chase Young?
And you think Chase Young's gonna if one defensive player could take you to a 6-win season, then
I'm just saying that everybody very immediately writes them off without actually looking into the roster or the.
for a very good reason.
No, but I mean, it's the fact that last year, a lot of it was contributed to the fact that they had horrible coaching on both sides of the football, particularly on defense. Now they have Jack Del Rio, whose track record is rather decent, so at least their defense will be good. No guarantees on the offense, but their defense could win them a few games. They did last year, even with a terrible coach.
I never heard a man in such denial before. Alex, you need to break up from this dangerous relationship before it drags you down.
Jared, I watched the Rex Grossman era.
Yeah,
I
won a Super Bowl in the Rex Grossman era. Don't you remember that? Colts beat Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then I watched him in Washington.
Yeah, nobody remembers that because it was that bad.
Nothing was ever as bad as seeing a Sexy Rexy start and then have John Beck come in the second half.
Did you just call him Sexy Rexy?
Yeah, that's his nickname. You never heard that?
All right, that does it for the extra point here on WEGL 91.1 and WEGL Sports. Remember WEGL Sports, where every game lives. For Davis Carroll and Alex Houston, I'm Jared Tillett saying thank you for watching and listening to Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle. No, not even Eagle.
Why?